Ladies and gentlemen, today's appearance of Barney is made possible by your imagination.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Barney's Anniversary Month. We've gone through Barney and the Backyard Gang, we've gone through Barney and Friends, we've gone through the Barney home videos in all three eras, and now we are diving into our last chapter of this 3-year run series, the Barney live shows. And believe me when I say, they are a lot of Barney live shows over the years. You got ones from America, Latin America, South America, Asia, Dubai, Malaysia, and Singapore. There were a good number of live shows that were released on home video, while some other shows from America and other parts of the world never got home video releases, and thus it is impossible to see them in full, with only a couple of clips from a show, no matter where you are, uploaded online, except for A Day at the Park with Barney and most of the Singapore shows. Before we get started, there is going to be some rules. First off, I am not going to be including Barney in concert since I've discussed it previously. Second, I will not be including shows like Barney's Musical Park and Barney Rocks live in concert, just to name a few, because they were exclusive to Mexico and Brazil, respectively. Although Barney's Space Adventure and Barney Live World Tour, A Celebration, will be counted. And third, I will not be including the noticeable appearances and the theme park shows, because once again, they were exclusive to their own parts of the world. Here's how the list of live shows that will be covered in this series. Alright, with all of that out of the way, let's get started. Hang on folks, this is going to be a long one. Barney Live in New York City, also known as Barney Live at Radio City. Wow, Barney is really hitting things off at NYC, isn't he? Charles Edward Hall announces Barney on stage, but he was nowhere to be seen once the curtains were open. But then, a kid tells the announcer and the audience to use their imaginations to welcome the purple guy. Once the iconic theme song hit, everyone was delighted and happy to see Barney as he greets them as well as singing The More We Get Together. After Barney thanked the audience for coming, he introduces the kids, Kathy, Julie, Derek, Carlos, Kelly, Tasha, Min, and Sean, and after that, they encourage the audience to get up and dance to Mr. Knickerbocker. Then Barney decided that they should go to the backyard as the curtain reveals the yard, where it has a slide, a sandbox, a swing set, and a clubhouse. It may be nice, but I think Mickey has the coolest clubhouse. Anyway, so after playing Ring Around the Rosie, they heard a sound from a tricycle bell, which turns out to be Baby Bop riding her tricycle. After admitting that there's a lot of people in the audience and then got surprised by the kids, Baby Bop sang My Yellow Blankie. After the song, the kids decided to make a special surprise for the audience, so after bringing up the Barney bag as well as singing the song itself, the kids got to work making the surprise in the clubhouse. Before that they could share it, a sneaky character called the Winkster sneaks away with the bag and gets chased by the gang. Winkster then introduces himself to the audience in song, who describes as a silly fellow who likes to play tricks and jokes and disappears as quick as a wink. After Barney and the kids told the audience to keep a lookout for the Winkster, they chased that silly fellow yet again, but of course, he was too fast to catch. After singing and dancing to She'll Be Coming Round the Mountain, as well as BJ making a grand entrance with his signature song, BJ's Song, Barney attempts to catch the Winkster only to get his foot stuck in the bucket before he got away again. Then BJ decided that they should play baseball to get the Winksters' attention, but when the plan is working, it began to rain. So the kids and the little dinos went into the clubhouse, leaving Barney in the rain. But that's okay because he got an umbrella from Derek and Kathy, and he is starting to enjoy the rain once he starts dancing around. After singing the rain melody, as well as singing If All the Rain Drops, it was bright and sunny again. After singing The Green Grass Grows All Around, which this yellow bird is a counterfeit Woodstock, they started to hear some instruments, and it sounds like a parade, but it's not any regular normal parade, it's a circus parade. After explaining Baby Bop on what a circus is, the kids grab some instruments and perform I'm a Fine Musician. After that, Barney tells the audience that they are going to the circus after their break, so they marched all the way to the circus, including the Winkster dancing to the rhythm of the song before the curtains fall. After the 8 seconds long intermission, Barney appears dressed up as a ringmaster, welcoming the audience to Barney's Imagination Circus. The kids were clowns while singing Boom Boom Ain't It Great to Be Crazy, revealing the clown bus where they sang The Wheels on the Bus, Baby Bop doing an act on her own singing Three Little Monkeys with the help of Dr. Sean, bringing an actual elephant to the show, and singing Do Your Ears Hang Low? Derek the Incredible tries to lift the barbell to get Baby Bop's blankie, only for the little Triceratops to lift it and throw it into the sky, BJ coming in as an airplane pilot and singing the airplane song, Kathy singing and dancing to Me and My Teddy with some dancing bears, and the kids dressing up as ducks while singing Four Little Ducks. When BJ, the human, in quotation marks, cannonball pushed the button on the remote control, the Winkster flies out of the cannon, ending the circus with another goose chase. After Barney made a wrong turn and then attempted to sneak up behind him, the kids thought all of this chasing was hopeless and they will never catch the Winkster and retrieve the bag. After some cheering up from Barney by singing My Aunt Came Back, they head back to the backyard playing London Bridge and sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star before Baby Bop makes a wish on a star, which makes the Winkster return doing the same. So, why did the Winkster stole the Barney bag in the first place?
I took this bag because I wanted everyone to play with me. But now I wish upon a star, I had real friends to stay with me.
Well, in the words of a well-known Barney YouTuber, bro is lucky that it was Barney and friends, not the judge and cops, that's for sure. After bringing the Barney bag back, as well as singing Please and Thank You, Barney unveils the surprise to the audience, which turns out to be a glittered stuffed heart. It may be pretty small, but with everyone's help by using their imaginations, a giant version of the stuffed heart lowers down for everyone to see. The gang then wrapped up the show by thanking the audience for their help as well as singing Everyone is Special because we already know about the lawsuit that was happening around that time. Anyway, they said their goodbyes, taking their bows, and Barney blows a kiss goodbye to the audience before heading back to join his friends, bringing the show to a happy ending. Barney Live in New York City was first announced in November of 1993, and when the show premiered on March 5th, 1994, opening night, the show became the second fastest sellout in Radio City's history. The live show would later be released on video on August 3rd later that year, and the show would be broadcast on PBS during a pledge drive as Showstoppers from Barney Live in New York City. Then, in 1995, the show would be broadcast again during the pledge drives, with 7 songs being edited out. While it never got a DVD release, the circus scenes were included as a bonus feature on the Barney Super Singing Circus DVD. BNF creators Cheryl Leach, Kathy Parker, and Dennis DeSager were originally going to write the show themselves. However, given that there's very little time to spare, they assigned Stephen White to write the show from scratch. After seeing a Christmas show starring the Radio City Rockettes, as well as going to a library seeking out books, the script drafts were written for a month before the show premiered. There was originally going to be a Barney doll appearing at the beginning of the show, but during rehearsals with the doll and costume, the idea was scrapped. Speaking of costumes, this marked the final appearance of the prototype Season 3 Barney costume, although it will be used in Kids for Character and other live appearances until 1998. This marked the final appearance of the 93 to 94 Baby Bop costume, and this marked the final appearance of the 94 BJ costume, although both costumes will be used in live appearances and Barney books until 1995. This marked the first appearance of Carlos, and despite his role being pretty minor and doesn't do much, he was eventually carried over into Season 3, so that's a plus. But as for Kelly being portrayed by Penny Wilson's daughter, Rebecca Wilson, she wasn't so lucky. She was given one line of dialogue when Barney introduced her. And just like Carlos, they were absent until the circus parts and please and thank you. It would have been great if she was carried over from the TV show. What a waste of potential. This marked the final regular appearance of Derek, although he would return along with Tina in their final episodic appearance on The Move from Season 3, and this was the only appearance of the Winkster. For a live show taking place at Radio City in New York, this is a great Barney home video. There is a lot to like here, from Barney himself, the little dinos, the kids, the backdrops, and for once, an actual antagonist in the form of the Winkster. While his reasoning is fine, but at the very least he was reformed and he had made some new friends. Overall, Barney Live in New York City is a pretty good Barney Live show. I could see why that this is a favorite among Barney fans alike, including Bob West and Corey Durham. It is definitely on the top 5 list of best Barney Live shows out there. So for that, I give Barney Live in New York City an 8 out of 10. Barney's Big Surprise. Well, this show is full of surprises. The show begins with the Barney plush sitting on the stool in the spotlight as the announcer announces that the show is made possible by the audience's imaginations. Then smoke fills the stage, and as the Barney theme song builds up, Barney the dinosaur arrives, greeting the audience. After singing If You're Happy and You Know It, Barney takes the audience to the treehouse where he introduces 4 kids, Kevin, Cindy, Tony, and Rachel. After introducing them, the kids show the audience of all the things that they've been doing, cueing the song Welcome to Our Treehouse. After that, Baby Bop's get by, but due to her shyness, she proceeds to hide behind Barney.
Barney!
Whoa!
Whoa!
After Barney proceeds to tell her that the people in the audience are friends, making her more comfortable, she wonders if the audience are here for the big surprise. After doing the Baby Bop hop as well as the bunnies joining in for the fun for a moment, Baby Bop tells the audience that they are going to be having a big birthday party. Soon, BJ comes out of the stage with a big drum, giving everyone a clue, and that clue is BJ's birthday. With each bang on his drum, he tells the audience that he has turned 7 years old, and then after that, they proceed to dance and sing Happy Birthday to Me. As Barney and the kids are discussing plans for BJ's party, BJ tells the audience that he wanted a red scooter for his birthday. After Barney and the kids are done discussing, they started to have some fun pretending to be airplanes and flying their kites, leading into the airplane song and My Kite respectively. Then, Barney gets a phone call from Professor Tinkerput, who has a surprise for BJ. So after getting the Barney Mobile, he, along with Baby Bop and BJ, went on their way to Professor Tinkerput's toy factory, while the kids stayed behind decorating the treehouse. After singing the driving melody, they arrived at Professor Tinkerput's toy factory. After greeting the dinos as well as singing Mr. Knickerbocker, he introduces himself to the audience in song, Tinkerput's Song, while also showing them his toy factory. They took their time looking around his factory, and after singing and dancing to We Are Little Robots, the professor tells Barney that he is going to have to borrow the Barney Mobile to bring BJ's surprise to the treehouse. So he decided that they're going to have to fly back with balloons, leading into the song, The Rainbow Song. After that, the balloons will come out in 20 minutes, so the gang took a break, leading towards the intermission. After the intermission, Barney, BJ, and Baby Bop are in a hot air balloon, singing, "Hey, look at me, I can fly," as well as hearing a duck call, which leads into the song Four Little Ducks, and after which they land the hot air balloon on the ground. When they got back to the treehouse, everyone proceeded to sing a reprise of Happy Birthday to Me, and then after that, they find other ways to have fun before the guests would arrive. They sang If All the Raindrops and then got dressed up in their farm outfits and corn costumes to sing Old MacDonald Had a Farm. After the song, Baby Bop tells the audience if she could be the last in line, but then she got surprised by a giant goose behind her and thus proceeds a wild goose chase. When they opened the door, they were greeted by Mother Goose, and she informs everyone that it was Clarence they were chasing as he was on the loose. After Mother Goose introduces herself in song I'm Mother Goose, everyone was having more fun with Mother Goose's rhymes, such as Humpty Dumpty, Hey Diddle Diddle, Little Miss Muffet, Little Boy Blue, 1, 2, Buckle My Shoe, and Sing a Song of Sixpence. Then, with a grand entrance, Old King Cole arrived at the party, singing his signature song, and this is one of the most memorable parts of the show. After singing all of Mother Goose's rhymes, Professor Tinkerput arrived with BJ's surprise. After the gang surprised him with a red scooter, the professor proceeds to bring the big surprise, and when BJ pressed the button, the surprise turned out to be a giant inflatable cake! After singing Happy Birthday to BJ as well as helping him out blowing out the giant candles, they proceed to sing the famous song itself, I Love You. After that, the audience gave a round of applause by making this show extra special as everyone waved their goodbyes and Barney blowing a kiss to the audience, drawing to the show to a close while multicolored heart-shaped confetti falls. After the success of Barney Live in New York City, Sloan Coleman requested $1 million and the best rock and roll tour manager that Richard C. Leach could find, which became the basis for Barney's Big Surprise. He, along with Cheryl Leach, envisioned a show that would be played in theaters much like the performance at Barney Live. However, it would be too big to play in theaters. After Sloan Coleman auditioned 100 professional child actors from the Dallas area, as well as approaching Joseph Phillips to be the music composer, things went pretty well for rehearsals. But when the actors or actresses were not available, or the audio for the show would end up not working, David Franks would be the understudy for Barney's voice.
Kick and 1 and 2 and maybe I could be an honorary Rockette.
And Elizabeth Fry would serve as an understudy for Cindy and Rachel. When Barney's Big Surprise premiered on September 10th, 1996 at Will Rogers Memorial Center in Fort Worth, Texas, it had performed extremely well, and it had sold nearly 2 million tickets during its original run. Along with performances in the US and Canada, the show toured in Mexico and the United Kingdom in 1998, and then around the mid to late 2000s, subsequent productions of Barney's Big Surprise would be performed in Asia and Latin America. The show would have a win at the Performance Magazine's 1997 Readers' Poll Award on the Best Family Variety Touring Act of the Year category. As for the video itself, it was filmed at the Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Winston-Salem, North Carolina on December 13th to 14th of 1997, and it would be released on VHS on May 19th, 1998. The video would also be broadcast on PBS on March 4th, 2000, and just like Barney Live, a few songs will have to be omitted for the broadcast. While the video has been re-released a few times, including the Spanish version, it never got a DVD release. Luckily, the Mother Goose melody was featured on the Barney's Rhyme Time Rhythm DVD as a bonus feature, and Barney's Dino Dancing Tunes would get a DVD release in 2004 containing footage of said video. But for the most part, the VCD release from 2000 is the closest thing to watch in decent quality. This was the only appearances of Kevin, Cindy, Tony, and Rachel. This marked the final appearances of Clarence the Goose and Professor Tinkerput, and this marked the first appearance of Old King Cole because after this tour, he would later go on to appear in A Royal Welcome from Season 5 and Can You Sing That Song? This marked the first time that Josh Martin performs Barney before he would go on to perform the character for 13 years and be a character wrangler for Barney and Friends. This marked the first time that Kyle Nelson performs BJ before he would go on to perform the character in Barney's Musical Castle and Barney's Dino Dancing Tunes before he would take over performing him in the TV show, replacing Jeff Brooks. This marked the first time that Jennifer Romano and Ronald Lee Clark performed Baby Bop. While Romano continued to perform Baby Bop at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parades and a few episodes of BNF, Clark, on the other hand, would perform the character in It's Time for Counting while Jeff Ayres was in Montreal, Canada, filming Barney's Great Adventure. In terms of costume designs, some costumes were based from 1994, others from 1996, and the filmed version that we got were based on the prototype Season 4 Barney costume and the 1997 costumes of the two little dinos. There are also some differences between the stage show and the music album. For example, the Airplane song and I'm Mother Goose were on the stage show, but the album doesn't contain the two songs, and Listen to the Nighttime was featured on the album, but the show itself doesn't feature it. I would like to think that they were going to use Listen to the Nighttime and have recorded the song, but then it would not get used for some reason, probably due to time constraints or what. Does anyone have any idea why this wasn't included in the show itself? Because if you do, tell me in the comments below. For the very first national stage show tour based on the character, Barney's Big Surprise is a great step up from Barney Live. The backdrops and sets felt a lot bigger than the previous. The cast are having a lot of fun with their roles, especially Barry Pearl as Professor Tinkerput, and the plot of celebrating BJ's birthday is also very fun as well. Overall, Barney's Big Surprise is a great live show with some great songs and an amazing cast of characters, and it has a really great and fun plot. So with that, Barney's Big Surprise gets a 9 out of 10. Barney's Musical Castle. Well, I think Dino fan Cody says it best.
Peak. This is the peak of Barney concerts.
The show begins with the announcer announcing that the show is made possible by the audience's imaginations. As the music builds up to the theme song, a bigger castle comes into the stage, and then Barney jumps through the castle opening, greeting and waving the audience. After singing 3 songs in the Musical Castle sing-along medley, 4 kids run into the stage: Penny, Andy, Jessica, and Justin. The kids told Barney that they were making flags for their sandcastle until a big sign with a castle and legs came by, possibly wanted to lead them into a real castle. After singing Castle So High, Barney and the kids saw the sign and they had to figure out of how to communicate with it. After learning of how to communicate with the sign, they learned that the sign wants to follow it as it will lead them to an enchanted forest and lead them to a real castle. The gang followed the sign to the enchanted forest where they noticed pretty flowers, cueing the song, What Makes a Flower So Pretty? After the song, Barney and the kids heard Baby Bop, who was hiding in the flowers, so, after finding her, she greets the audience and she was told that they were going to a real castle. After the little Triceratops sings, Look at Me, I'm 3, the sign shows everyone that the king had lost his crown. After Barney concludes that the sign brought them along just so that they could return the crown to the king, the sun comes out and the path to the castle along with the sign are straight up gone. BJ came by and declares that he will help them find the path again, leading into the song You Can Count on Me. After Jessica showed BJ the king's crown, he noticed a note inside the crown. After the note tells them to ask the bunny, fox, and bear to help them find the path, it leads into the song Here in the Forest, with the addition of a skunk appearing later. After the bear whispered something to Barney, he tells them that they have to sing one more song to make the path entirely clear, which leads into the song "And the Green Grass Grows All Around." The path is now cleared after the song, and Biddy Bop and Jessica decided to take turns carrying the king's crown. As they go down the path, as well as singing "It's a Great Day," the sign comes along and tells them that they're getting close to the castle. Upon arrival, they notice the guard is sleeping, so with the help from the audience, they were able to wake up the guard. Then, the guard tells them that they need to sing a special song in order for the gate to open. So after singing "If You're Happy and You Know It," the door opens, but the door opens very slowly. So they decided to take a break while they wait for the door to open, leading towards the intermission. After the intermission, Andy, Jessica, Penny, and Justin were riding horses from the audience and onto the stage while singing a reprise of "Castle So High," then after which they put the horses back in the stables. As the curtains open, the dinos are amazed that they're inside the castle with many flags around, leading into the song "Wave the Flags." After that, Penny suggested that the king must be hiding in one of those paintings, so they started to have some fun with the paintings, leading into the musical castle nursery rhyme melody. The gang conclude that the king is not hiding behind the paintings, so if they wonder if he was hiding in the suit of armor. All suddenly, the suit of armor began to move and dance, leading into their night dance, with BJ joining in. Man, BJ today is killing it today, isn't he? After the musical montage, the sign tells everyone that the king is at the top of the castle, but before that they could go to see the king, BJ suggested that they should dress up in fancy clothes, leading towards the musical castle costume melody, with the dinos singing "I Put a Smile On" afterwards. After the songs, the sign led the gang to the top of the castle where they finally met the king. After introducing themselves, as well as the king singing "I'm the king," they have the honor to put the king's crown back on his head. And after that, the celebration begins as everyone sang the musical castle celebration melody, as well as the reprise of "It's a Great Day." The king thanked everyone for bringing back his crown, and then they lead into this wonderful rendition of "I Love You." Barney then tells the audience to give themselves a big hooray for making this show extra special, and after that, they waved goodbye, closing the show with Barney blowing a kiss to the audience as multicolored heart and star-shaped confetti falls, bringing this live show to an amazing grand finale. In November 1998, Marianne Dunko made her appearance on the talk show Crook and Chase to talk about Barney and his 10th anniversary, but also teasing the new Barney show that will be touring in major cities from the fall 1999 to spring 2001. In terms of writing, Stephen White wrote the original vision for the show, but then it was turned over to multiple writers in order to put the script together, and thus Evan Viola will write the show instead after writing one episode from season 6 of Barney and Friends. Good job. As for rehearsals and casting calls, things went pretty well, all things considered. Barney's Musical Castle made its world premiere on September 15, 1999 at the Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas, and over the course of the original tour, it drew more than 910,000 attendees to 243 performances and saw 17 million in ticket sales. Following the original tour, the show toured in Mexico in 2000 and 2006 respectively, Asia in 2005 and 2012 respectively, Central America and Latin America from 2006 to 2007, and the Middle East from 2009 to 2010. A good portion from the proceeds from the tour benefited from the National Children's Alliance, a non-profit organization dedicated to eliminating child abuse. Oh yeah, and by the way, this show was sponsored by LYONS, and in select cities, the Wiggles performed as intermission acts. While we never got footage of the Wiggles intermissions outside of this news footage, but some photos of the Wiggles taking pics with Barney do exist. As for the video itself, it was filmed at the Roseman Theater in Roseman, Illinois in March 2000, and it was released on VHS on March 6, 2001, although it was intended to be released in the fall. Speaking of the video, the footage from the show itself would be shown in the movie Jurassic Park 3. Anyway, the video would be released in different international territories on VHS, VCD, and DVD. In terms of costume designs, one of the Barney suits were based from seasons 4 and 6, including the double costumes, and the Baby Bop and BJ costumes were based from their later seasons 4 to 6 costumes, although sometimes they would use the 1996 versions of those costumes, for some reason. However, in the film version, the costumes were based from season 6, that one-off Baby Bop costume from Stick With Imagination, and this costume design of BJ before it would be used in Barney's Dino Dancing tunes. This marked the first time that Antoine Seal performs Barney before he would go on to perform the character in Barney's Pajama Party, the 2000 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and then 10 years later, Barney Live in Concert Birthday Bash. And don't you worry, I will get into that show eventually. This marked the first time that BJ was performed by Charles L. Shaw, during Quick Switches that is, because after this tour, he would perform the character one final time in You Can Be Anything during the space scene. This marked the final stage show to have Kerry Stinson and Kyle Nelson as Barney and BJ before they went on to perform the characters in the TV series afterwards. Fun fact, during the tour, Kyle Nelson got engaged with Baby Bop costume performer Jill Nelson, and then in August 2000, they got married during the tour. This was also the final live show where Bob West voices Barney because following his time with the franchise, he would go on to be a graphic designer in TV shows and movies, although he would voice the character one final time in 2005 at the PBS Kids Sprout launch party. This marked the only appearances of Justin, Jessica, Penny, and Andy, especially for the latter because after this, his actor Fernando Margel will begin to work with the Wiggles with their albums, videos, and their concerts. He would also portray as the Yellow Wiggle in the Latin American co-production. Barney's Musical Castle is easily the best and my favorite Barney stage show. I loved everything about it. The songs are just banger after banger after banger. The Enchanted Forest and the castle sets are amazing. The choreography in some of the musical numbers can range from good to straight up fire, and the characters are great with some sweet and funny moments, like when BJ tried to lift the suit of armor, or when Baby Bop is about to faint any second after seeing the king. Overall, Barney's Musical Castle is a great Barney stage show, with once again, great songs, great characters, and amazing sets. I remember seeing a bit of footage online as well as watching it on VHS when I got it for Christmas of 2015 back then, and I still love this show now. I consider this show to be the best Barney live show of all time. So this gets a solid 10 out of 10 gold stars. Well, that's part 1 of the Barney live shows. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let me know what are your thoughts on these live shows. Join me in next time where I'll be diving into Barney's Colorful World Live to Barney's Space Adventures. This is Dre Edwards, and I hope that you'll have a great Easter.